As we come on the air tonight, City of Spokane setting up the logistics of running their own 911 call center, what new software they're looking to use and why they believe it's needed. And then an audit in Washington state finds millions in misused funds in federal child care subsidies. What important information they found was missing or overpaid for.
In weather, we've had a very mild start to the work week, but wet weather returns just in time for April. We'll talk about it in your full forecast. NonStop Local Pulse Prime starts right now.
Morgan Ashley, bringing you the content that connects our communities. You're watching NonStop Local Pulse Prime.
Well, thanks for being here. I'm Morgan Ashley. The City of Spokane considering a contract for a new computer-aided dispatch system following the city's move to split from the Regional Communications Center. Before that split, Shrek made a similar software switch. Now the city is looking to make. NonStop Local's Ainsley Anderson joins us here now. Hi, Ainsley. What more can you tell us about these conversations that they had in council chambers tonight?
Well, Morgan, what we know is that the goal of this proposed system would replace separate dispatch platforms with a single, more consolidated solution. Now, the city says this will improve coordination and response times, especially in historically excluded communities. The system is intended to enable better data collection and analysis to help address service disparities and support continuous improvement. Spokane's Emergency Communications Director, Stephen Williams, who leads the city's Spokane United 911 network, spoke at this afternoon's council briefing session about the CAD software system.
Briefly, the computer-aided dispatch software is kind of the nerve center of what we do, so that connects us with the phone system with the citizens and then out through to the first responders. So the computers that are used in the fire engines and the police vehicles, all of that, it's how we share information between the citizen and the first responder and our team.
Now, it was voted through unanimously, and according to City Council agenda documents, the price of implementation would cost just over $3.3 million through March of 2031. However, Councilmember Kate Tellis highlighted how the city was able to save nearly $300,000 in negotiations with Williams.
So I want to thank Stephen Williams for his in-depth and consistent efforts to try to reduce the PSAP program cost to the city of Spokane.
A very needed piece of equipment for us to go forward. Anything else? All those in favor of the consent agenda, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any noes? Abstentions? The consent agenda is approved.
Now, since approved, the system's operation will begin on April 1st. The county introduced the Hexagon software back in 2024. And tonight, just 2 years later, the Spokane United 911 network is slated to follow suit. Morgan.
It sounds good. Thanks so much, Ainsley, for that. We appreciate it. Let's bring in Rosemary Wright as we talk about the forecast because, as mentioned, sunny today, beautiful today. Things are going to be changing, though, of course.
Right? The good weather never seems to last, does it?
Just a little peak.
Spring showers is something to expect. We're finishing off March, now we're moving into April, and the weather certainly reflects it. We've had a calm start to the work week. You can see that as we look at our satellite radar. Dry conditions for eastern Washington and North Idaho. Some flurries and even some showers through northern Oregon and the lower panhandle, too. Tonight, though, we've got calm skies, comfortable temperatures as we're getting later on into those evening hours, and overnight we expect that pattern to hold. We're looking for dry conditions, overnight lows below freezing for areas like Spokane and Yakima, teetering on freezing tonight for the Tri-Cities. We can actually watch on our future cast how we're expecting those clouds to pass over, bringing with them again moisture for the southeastern portion of the region, but no wet weather for Spokane or Kootenai counties, at least not until Wednesday. You'll notice that's when that chance for precipitation rises to likely across eastern Washington and the Panhandle, with that wet weather set to last into Thursday for the metro area, with conditions drying out on Thursday for the Tri-Cities and Yakima. This system passing over is bringing with it rain for the lowlands, the metro area included, but snow for some of those higher elevations. So in our full forecast, we'll take a closer look at what to expect if you have any travel planned over the passes, just how much rain we're looking at for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Morgan.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Rosemary. In depth now, a recently published Washington state audit shows millions of dollars in federal child care subsidies went toward questionable payments in fiscal year 2025. In fact, $28 million went toward what the auditor's office calls questionable payments. This comes as federal child care subsidy fraud's been in the national spotlight after President Donald Trump froze child care subsidy payments to Minnesota over accusations of fraud there. In Washington, the auditor's office says the Department of Children, Youth and Families, which oversees the payments of these subsidies, is missing important steps to make sure its payments comply with the rules. While the department audits payments, the auditor's office says they don't review supporting documentation before paying child care providers. Examples of some of these problems include providers not responding to requests for attendance records, overbilling for services, and not providing signatures from parents or guardians. The auditor's office says the lack of internal controls for payments was first identified in 2008. Well, new county health department data in the Tri-Cities shows overdose deaths are trending higher than in years past. So data out of Benton County shows a sharp increase in overdose deaths, growing over 60% in the last 4 years. 22 deaths were recorded in 2022, while 67 deaths were recorded last year. Officials in Franklin County say they are seeing a decline, just 14 overdose deaths in 2025. That's down from 22 the previous 2 years.
Out of those 14, 10 of those were fentanyl, and then the other 4 were methamphetamine. All of them are a mixed drug. They're not just one solid drug.
Health department officials say many of these cases involve multiple drugs, often fentanyl mixed with meth or cocaine, and in some cases, people don't even know that fentanyl is present. In your money now, new property tax exemptions that could save Spokane County residents thousands on their property taxes. New legislation signed last week raises the amount of disposable income that qualifies for discounts on their bills. Here is NonStop Local's Belle Lewis.
Currently, it is based on each county's median income.
Now, we've told you about Spokane, how you're going to have to make less than $74,000 in disposable income to qualify for this program. But what about the other counties in this area?
We want them to take advantage of it.
This shows all the counties in eastern Washington and the maximum amount of disposable income someone could have to qualify for the exemption. The highest exemption, Benton County, was $77,000. And on the other end of the spectrum, the lowest disposable income qualification is Okanogan County with $49,000. Most counties in eastern Washington hitting that high 50 to mid 60,000 range. But it is a county by county income level, which is why County Assessor Tom Konis, who has been working on this legislation for 3 years, says to pay attention to what your county assessor says and to be ready to apply at the end of 2026 or early 2027.
That was Belle Lewis reporting. We have been following the changes to the property tax exemption since it was signed into law last week. You can see more information about these changes and a look at the potential savings you could qualify for on nonstoplocal.com. Well, all winter long, Spokane Indians fans have been dreaming of spending evenings at Avista Stadium. So close, right? Austin Getz joins us now with the good news. That is almost over, but you're probably going to need a jacket.
Maybe not time to break out the tank top or the short sleeve shirt out there at Avista Stadium quite yet, but at least for the first month or so, Morgan. But the good news is baseball, even a little bit chilly, is still baseball. And let's focus on the good here. Indians baseball is almost back. This year's team is going to have a few names that fans will remember from 2025, but there's always going to be some to get to know as well. Now, in total, 6 of the Colorado Rockies' top 20 prospects will start the season in Spokane, including 2024 first-round pick Brody Brecht. The right-handed starting pitcher says prospect rankings ultimately aren't what he's focused on right now.
It's put the nose down and go play baseball. You know that really means sure it's a cool honor to be considered a prospect, but at the end of the day, it really don't mean nothing unless you go out there and play well. So it's outside of my control, and I'm focused on execution, not expectation. So.
And remember, Fan Fest is also coming up on Wednesday night, and then Friday, the Indians open the season at home as they host the Seattle Mariners affiliate, Everett Aquasox. And hey, if you needed convincing to head out to catch the action, even if it is a bit cold, Friday's supposed to be sunny in mid-50s. So bring a jacket, enjoy some baseball. bring a blanket. Why not?
Who cares,
you got to
right?
get out there. This is what we wait for all winter long. We're sitting inside with nothing to do, and now we're going to have Indians baseball.
Yep. No excuses.
No excuses. And get ready to throw some first pitches this summer. I have a feeling you might need to get the old arm warmed up.
Warmed up quite a bit. Well, I got the no sleeps going, so
there you go.
We're halfway there.
Sun's out, guns out. But the sun's not out yet.
Not quite. Still to come here tonight, Washington State Patrol has more eyes on the road looking for distracted drivers, speeders, and as well as those under the influence. What to expect is still to come.
In our full forecast, we'll take a closer look at chillier temperatures headed to the inland northwest tomorrow, but warmer weather by the weekend that's coming up on the Pulse.
Content connecting community. You're watching The Pulse.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Bradley Warren. This is The Pulse. We'll start in the Valley right now. Firefighters responded this morning to a school bus crash versus car. It blocked a portion of Sullivan and 16th. No injuries to bring to you. Students are okay. The bus driver was looked at by paramedics. The other driver was not injured. Washington Governor Bob Ferguson has signed a controversial millionaire's tax into law starting in 2028 and imposes a 9.9% tax on annual income over $1 million. Critics say it violates the state's constitution and could open the door to a broader state income tax. Governor Ferguson says the revenue will expand the working families tax credit, provide small business relief, and free breakfast for students in K through 12 classes along with their lunches. The United States Department of Labor today unveiled a plan that could change your 401k investments. A proposed rule would give retirement fund participants the option of investing in private equity, crypto, and even commodities. Employers have always had that option to include those investments, but few do. The process is a tad complicated. And don't forget, you can watch hourly updates with me every day on The Pulse. At the top of the hour, just take a picture of that QR code there. Download the app and enable push notifications for the latest live local breaking news wherever you are. Thanks for being with us. Hey, head over to Facebook and let me know where you're watching from. For now, I'm Bradley Warren. We'll take a quick break.
Well, as more people are traveling for spring break, law enforcement stepping up efforts to keep drivers in check. NonStop Local's Brendan Jen learned how state troopers are cracking down on risky behavior and keeping travelers safe.
So we ask drivers here in Washington State to please pack their patience.
Spring break is here, and traffic is picking up across the Evergreen State, but Washington State Patrol is prepared. Troopers are launching an emphasis patrol throughout April, focusing on keeping roads safe as more families and high school students head out of town.
Especially during spring break, you're going to see a lot of young drivers out there, which typically have the most confidence but the least amount of experience. They may take risks that most other drivers may not.
Trooper Daniel Mosqueda says the combination of warmer weather and time off from school means more drivers, more trips, and potentially more risk on the road.
For example, here in the Tri-Cities, State Route 395, Interstate 182, and Interstate 82 have been issues, and we'll conduct an emphasis patrol where we saturate that area with additional troopers, and we look for the dangerous driving behaviors that cause collisions on our roadway.
During patrols, troopers work with local law agencies, checking for speeding, distracted driving, impaired driving, seatbelts, and other violations.
It's early on in spring, but we already stopped 5 DUI drivers during daylight hours just last week.
On the road, you might see increased law enforcement, motorcycle troopers, non-marked patrol cars, and air patrols. A few extra precautions can go a long way in keeping everyone safe this spring.
There's going to be additional traffic for spring break. We understand that. But again, the road belongs to everybody, so let's make sure we share it.
That was Brendan Jen reporting. Those emphasis patrols will be statewide. All right, let's bring in Rosemary Wrights tracking the forecast tonight. Nice to be driving out on the roads today. Whenever the sun is out, it's like it's either blinding you or you want to speed a little bit because you're like, oh.
Right?
Just
Windows down, maybe, getting a little bit of a breeze. Sky was blue today. It was kind of nice to soak up some vitamin D. I went for a walk in Riverfront Park. Yeah. It was nice not walking through slush and ice, right?
No doubt.
That even brings us to tonight. Conditions still comfortable and mild out there across the inland northwest. We've got temperatures for Spokane and Lewiston holding strong in the upper 30s, low 40s, and single-digit winds. As we look at that satellite radar, you could see just how calm our skies were today over Spokane and Kootenai counties. We're talking passing cloud cover, but no rain or snow for us in eastern Washington or North Idaho. For the lower panhandle and along Oregon's northern border, we did capture some passing showers and some flurries too. Overnight here, we're looking for that pattern to hold. Dry conditions for those of us in that northern half of the region, but a chance for more snow, more rain as we get into those early morning hours tomorrow, Tuesday, for northern Oregon and the lower panhandle. Overnight, we're looking for temperatures to fall to the mid to upper 20s for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, Yakima. 32 degrees are expected low for the Tri-Cities. Cloudy conditions, but you'll notice that chance of precipitation remains at 0% across the board. As for tomorrow, it's set to be chilly. I'm not going to lie. We're talking low 50s across Spokane and Kootenai counties. A bit chillier as we turn our eyes to areas like Sandpoint in the upper 40s at 49 degrees. 49 degrees along the Palouse, too, in Pullman. And in central Washington, we're talking 55 degrees for Moses Lake. A bit further south, the same temperature, 55 across the Tri-Cities. For northern Oregon and our friends in Yakima, too, pretty similar. Upper 40s at 47 degrees for Meacham, but 55 degrees for areas like the Sunnyside and 54 there in Yakima tomorrow, Tuesday. Outside of those temperatures, as for weather tomorrow, you'll notice that by tomorrow, Tuesday at about 6 p.m., we see the chance for rain jump in areas like Grangeville and peak at 20% for Pomeroy and Pendleton, too. The rest of us looking for a pretty dry and comfortable Tuesday. By Wednesday, that first chance for rain comes in Spokane at just 30% chance at 8 a.m. But watch what happens by 10 a.m. We see that widespread chance of showers across the entire region, with that chance of rain lasting overnight and into those early morning hours on Thursday. Between right now and the end of the day on Wednesday, we're looking for over 0.3 of an inch of rain across the metro area, over a ½ an inch for areas like Sandpoint, as well as along the Palouse and Potlatch and Pullman. For mountain snow during this time, we could see up to 8 additional inches along Sherman Pass, less than an inch expected for Lookout Pass. Winds during this time also look to pick up. You'll notice that we've got gusts set to exceed 50 miles per hour just southwest of Pendleton by Wednesday at 6 p.m., with the rest of the region peaking above about 30 miles per hour on Wednesday night. As for those next 7 days in terms of temperature, you'll notice that we're looking at upper 40s, low 50s throughout much of the work week. By the weekend, we see a return to the upper 50s on Saturday, and then we're coasting in the 60s Sunday and into Monday for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. For Yakima and the Tri-Cities, pretty similar, except there you can expect a return to the 70s by the weekend, so a little bit warmer in the next few days, Morgan.
All right, sounds good. Thanks so much, Rosemary. Coming up, the Spokane Chiefs hosting their first home playoff game this season as they try to recover from 2 losses on the road to begin the series. That's next.
Live from the Northern Quest Sports Studio. This is SWX NonStop Local Sports.
First 2 games of this series were not kind to the Spokane Chiefs. Up in Prince George, they dropped games 1 and 2 of this first round matchup, but hoping some home cooking could get them back on the right track. We'll go right to the action. We're scoreless in the second period here in game 3. Chiefs on a power play, but a disaster as Brock Such picks the Chiefs' pocket all alone for the shorthanded goal. 1-0 Cougars. Chiefs looking for the answer. Coco Armstrong getting the puck in space, rifles one home, and we're all square 1-1 now midway through the second. But PG firing back just minutes later. Caden Lemire walking in from the top of the circle gets one past Carter Essler as the Cougars retake the lead. But with less than 2 minutes to play still in the second period, Spokane back on the power play, and Tyus Sparks has his eyes on the back of the net. Rips home the equalizer as they're still looking for a winner in Spokane, as this is a game that's going to decide if the Chiefs go down 3-0 or if they get one back to make it a 2-1 series. And we got game 4 coming up as well. That coming up on Wednesday. All right, through 4 games of the season, the Seattle Mariners are 2-2. So if you're looking to make some grand conclusion, have at it. It just feels like there's been too much good, just as much good and bad, and vice versa going on. It's been a pitcher's duel tonight. Luis Castillo with an excellent season debut. He goes 6 scoreless innings, only allowing 2 hits and strikes out 7, including picking up strikeout number 1,500 for his career. Cole Young providing the first run for the Mariners in the second inning. An RBI single to score Randy Arozarena. Took the Yankees until the 7th inning until they scratched out a run courtesy of an Ahmad Rosario sac fly. Looking for a winner at T-Mobile Park as well. All right, a little college baseball for you. Gonzaga and Nevada in a Monday non-conference matchup. Bottom of the 4th, we're tied 1-1. Senior second baseman Hudson Shoup goes the other way. A base hit to score Tommy Eisenstadt as the Zags take the lead for the first time. Later in the inning, shortstop Ricky Sanchez drives one deep the other way. The right fielder not able to make the catch in the shadow of the wall. 2 runs will come in to score. Zags score 3 in the 4th inning. And those runs gave Zags starter Gabe Brayback more than enough cushion. He ends up going 6 innings, just allowing falling 1 run back all the way in the first frame as the Zags pick up the win 7-2. For head coach Mark Mactoff, that's career win number 636. That puts him just 1 behind the legendary Steve Hertz for the all-time program record of 637. And there's a good chance that Mactoff is able to hit that mark in this upcoming series with Pepperdine. Zags facing the Waves Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And that Friday game we'll have for you on SWX again.
Before we let you go, a traffic alert today. 2 construction projects started in the city of Spokane, one on East Wellesley Avenue and the other on East Sprague. The one on Wellesley goes between Freya Street and Havana Street. It's a $4.5 million project that will include a water main replacement, installation of a shared use path on the south side of the street, and resurfacing. Wellesley will be closed to traffic in both directions. Over on East Sprague Avenue between Freya and Havana, traffic will be reduced to 1 lane in each direction. This project includes similar improvements. And in Spokane Valley, South Sullivan Road between 8th and 24th will be going through partial lane closures starting on April 6th. This project will bring new sidewalks, curb ramps, pedestrian crossing, and new asphalt. The partial closures are going to be in place through June, and then there will be full closures after until late August. Well, that's all the time we have now. Thanks for being here. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.